Good Saturday morning to Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich, and this is your outlook for September 27th, 2014. And we're going to have an absolutely fantastic weekend coming up here, and temperatures are going to be on the warm side here. If you're not a fan of the summer-like weather, then this is not going to be the weekend for you. But at least from a precipitation standpoint, we don't have to worry about any of that, and that's because high pressure is sitting right over top of the area here. And with this high pressure sitting right over top of the area here, we're going to have a north wind here. Probably not going to feel it too much, but very, very light, probably under 5 miles per hour all day. But the winds will be out of the north nonetheless, and that will allow for dew points to be low on Saturday. So we're not expecting anything in the way of humidity either, and that's going to be the case again on Sunday, except the only difference is the winds are going to switch to the southwest, which is going to allow the humidity to increase some along with the dew points, but it's still not going to be too uncomfortable like you would experience in summer. We're talking about temperatures over a very large area here in our central and southern areas here that are going to be 80 or above, and it's going to be everywhere I'm circling here. Should be 80 or above today. Same thing for tomorrow, except we might get in the low 80s and add on maybe 2 more degrees or so, 2 or 3 degrees to the high temperature on Sunday, with those winds shifting to the southwest and the humidity increasing some. Good thing if you don't like this kind of weather as far as temperatures are concerned, which are now at least plus 10 above normal for this time of year, we do see some relief in sight as far as temperatures go, and temperatures is in relation to departure from average. We do think we are going to go below normal, and is pretty much in line with our long-range outlook. And the reason we haven't changed or made any changes to our long-range outlook that we made over a week ago is because everything is still on par and on course for those time frames we outlined for above and below normal to occur. So we'll get into that here in a second here. Let's go into Sunday here, and Sunday is pretty much the same thing. High pressure is still sitting over our area here and in control, so we will not be, here's the high pressure, say right over top of our area here. The only difference is on Sunday the winds will shift more southwesterly, but again remaining light. We're talking about less than 5 mile an hour winds for the most part throughout the day. But both days with high pressure will be right over top of us, and sinking air promotes drying air, and that means mostly sunny conditions on both days. So fantastic weekend. Get out and enjoy it. This is probably going to be the warmest you see the temperatures now until we get into springtime. Not expecting any kind of warm up again like this. And if we do ever get beyond later in October, we do have a warm up, it's definitely not going to be on this scale. So this is most likely, if I was betting money, I would say this is the last weekend you'll see 80 degrees if you do in fact see that. Okay, so we're going to have a cold front that's going to come through here on Monday, but it's going to be pretty much unabated in the sense that you won't really notice it. There's going to be cold front's actually sitting back here like this, and it's going to come through late in the day on Monday or at Monday night. It's going to come through with just some increase in clouds, mostly cloudy conditions then Monday night when the frontal passage comes through. This area of low pressure is riding along this front here, and this has been consistently been on the models here, but it has also been consistently southeast of the area. It's kind of taking a path like this, and it's coming a little bit close, so we're going to have to keep an eye on it. But this frontal boundary is going to move offshore, and this low pressure is going to ride that boundary. It's going to depend where this front stalls, as this determine whether or not this will affect our area. I think the further northwest under coverage area you get, you're pretty much in the clear, and and all the models agree on that this system is going to head to the southeast once this front moves through. And in a large part because of the front that it is moving southeast. You can see here it is moving off the Carolina coast. This is Tuesday morning. Here's Tuesday afternoon. Here's Tuesday evening. See, it's awfully close here, especially to the shore point. So the further southeast you get, we'll have to keep a closer eye on this and see where this goes. But as your low pressure moves off to the northeast here, I think it has a better chance to affect these areas here in southern New England here as this thing gets stronger as it moves away. But areas behind it should be okay and remain dry. At least that's the way it looks right now. If anything changes, we will update that. But right now, it looks like areas in from Philadelphia, or I should say I-95 north and west are probably in the clear. It's southeast of I-95 we have to keep a closer eye on just in case it decides to come a little closer. And here's a look at overnight Tuesday night. You see how close it's getting here. Long Island getting into some action here of precipitation, and then of course it gets into southern New England here as we get into Wednesday morning. But Wednesday for everywhere else, we're going to have improving conditions behind this system, and then temperatures behind it, we're going to be back to near or slightly above normal, we think, Wednesday, Thursday, and then again throughout the rest of the week. One thing I want to touch on here, we're finally seeing signs of what we thought. We outlined an area in our long-range outlook of October 6th as being the day that temperatures will start dropping below normal again. And I think that's going to be the case still. Both the GFS and GFS ensembles and the European model are hinting at that. Here's a look at Thursday. That system's still lurking offshore, but we're still in the partly cloudy skies in our region here and not affected by anything whatsoever, not even cloud cover. And that's still meandering out here by the time we get to later Friday, just sitting here. But it's weakening and still moving away from the area. The next thing we're going to be watching is this cold front here, and this is going to affect us at some point next weekend. There's differences in timing, of course, which can be expected for it being this far out. But this cold front is going to march eastward and provide some rainfall either Saturday night or during the day on Sunday. We're going to have to keep an eye on that and see what the timing's like as we get a little closer. But this front could mean business if it comes in here. As it comes in here on Sunday, it might, if it does come in late, it might slow down, and there might be some low pressure enhancement along the front with this one that will allow more precipitation to affect the area as it moves through. Now, this is getting out pretty far. We're getting out to almost 10 days now, and looking at October 5th. This is October 5th right now, in the evening of October 5th, and this cold front's going to come through. And it's still showing some heavy rain along that front, and a couple models are doing that. But again, at this range, we'll just take it for a grain of salt. We'll have a cold front come through, and all the models are in agreement with that. But behind this, there are going to be some very chilly air come in here, and chilly relative this time of year. I mean, I'm talking about 40s and 50s for highs, but we're talking about temperatures that are going to be back down in the 60s. And normal for this time of year, at least for Saturday, are going to be anywhere from the mid to upper 60s up north to about 70 in our central areas and the lower 70s down south here. But by the time we get to next week, for everybody, just about temperatures for normals will be right around will be between 65 and 70 for the most part. So we're talking about temperatures that are, for a high temperature, going to be closer to 60 degrees, and they're going to be below normal for a very long period of time, I think. We'll look at some long-range guidance that goes out pretty far. For the next 3 or 4 weeks for the Euro weeklies and things like that. And they're all indicating the same general idea that we're going to be below normal for a pretty good stretch, and that looks like it's going to begin then, right around October 6th. So we're still on par for the course as far as the long range is looking right now, and there's no need to change it. But we will update that in the upcoming week with any changes that we see. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for the weekend. Saturday, September 27th, and Sunday, September 28th, 2014. Have a great weekend. Enjoy it.